It was meant to enhance public trust and increase transparency. But nearly half a year after San Antonio police introduced a body-worn camera policy, the department has yet to release a single clip of video. As the Night Team's Dylan Collier reports, the bumpy rollout adding another layer of murkiness for those trying to see how SAPD officers interact with the community during deadly situations. It's tonight's Defenders investigation.
He's not an idiot. He may have been in a mental health crisis mode, but he would not have done that.
More than 2 months after a San Antonio police officer shot and killed her younger brother, Deborah Montes-Felder and SAPD are nowhere near to being on the same page about what happened. Officers were called to a house on Brighton Avenue early in the morning, March 26th, after receiving a call for an assault in progress. 57-year-old John Peña Montes, a military veteran, threatened to kill himself while holding a knife outside the home, and then advanced toward his common-law wife, getting within arm's length of her and slapping her in the face, according to SAPD records of the incident.
He loves his family. She loved him. They are in a difficult situation.
And while Montez's family described him as depressed, in a mental health crisis, and more likely to seriously harm himself than anyone else, the department's narrative, including quotes from family inside the residence, states that Montez used his shoulder to break into the home, saying out loud, if cops come, he would go at them. Shortly after officers arrived and found Montez standing near an entryway, they said he lunged at them. After one officer attempted to deploy his taser twice, a second officer, Stephen Ramos, a one-year veteran of the department, shot and killed Montez.
John was a loving guy. When at his best, he was a joker. He was the center of our gatherings.
More than a month after Montez's death, SAPD officials arranged to have his family watch footage of the fatal encounter. A meeting at public safety headquarters the family claims turned hostile after Felder and her husband were told they could only view one clip recorded by Ramos's body-worn camera.
And I said, this will not satisfy me. I want to see the entire video and audio.
Instead, after watching the approximately 90-second sequence twice, the viewing ended, leaving the family with even more questions about the last moments of Montez's life, as they claim at no point did the footage show him lunge at officers.
When the word lunge came up, I thought back, I said, where is this lunge that is being talked about but done by John that would have justified the shooting?
Adding to the intensity of the meeting, according to the family, SAPD's decision to have a detective use a body-worn camera to chronicle it.
It's recording essentially me looking at the video of the killing of my brother.
Department officials refused to make Chief William McManus available for an interview. They told us rules require them to use these cameras to document all interactions with the public.
To me, it's confrontational.
Former officer Kevin LaChapelle is a California-based police accountability expert. He believes departments should be compassionate in these situations and recognize they are dealing with a family whose loved one died following an encounter with police. LaChapelle also takes issue with SAPD's decision to block the video from being released to the public, the third time it's done so in the first 3 fatal shootings since the new policy took effect in late December.
I think to hunker down and create policies to prohibit transparency is a dangerous path.
Footage of critical incidents involving domestic violence are not released under the policy unless the chief determines it serves a law enforcement purpose. The department, told by local experts a survivor's right to privacy far outweighs the public's interest in these cases, and that prematurely releasing information could further aggravate fears of reporting an abuser to authorities altogether. While SAPD officials are determined to keep footage of Montez's death away from public scrutiny, that decision goes against the wishes of his own family.
Is this something the family wants out there publicly?
Yes. Release it. We want transparency. Help us to get that transparency. If you know us, you know that we want the truth.
The whole purpose of body-worn cameras is for accountability. And so to kind of dismiss that and disallow the public from access to that, to me, is very concerning.
For the defenders, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
The next shooting by SAPD officers approaching the 60-day deadline for footage release is the April 15th death of Joe Gomez. He was shot by a Park police officer and then shot and killed himself after firing a gun from both highway overpass and then at a San Antonio International Airport terminal. SAPD officials have indicated they will release video from this encounter. San Antonio Police Chief William McManus previously described the officer as a hero.